Hey, just wanted to talk tonight about pigeonholing. I had a divine feminine I was WhatsApping with. She started talking about, she's like, what should I do with this? And we're going to have dinner. And do you think I should such and such? She's one of my longstanding clients and very much a regular. And I've been kind of helping and coaching her all along with her relationship. But at one point I heard her say, I know what he's going to do. He's going to do such and such. He always does that. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, no. When she was like, what? And I said, no pigeonholing. She's like, what's that? And I said, oh, okay. Yeah, this needs to be talked about because it's basically, it's putting somebody in a position that they can't get out of. So let's say, all right, let's say you give somebody directions to get to your house and they get lost on the way and they end up, going in circles and they can't find it. And you're judging them thinking they're a moron because they didn't know how to understand your directions or something like that. If you then judge that person, whoever this is, your true love, whoever, if you judge that person and say, oh, they're a moron, they don't know how to understand directions. And then from then on out, it's like if they start heading to your house, you treat them like they're an idiot. Or you say, oh, do you understand what I have said in my directions? Or you text them in all caps or something, or you try to make everything obvious like they're an idiot. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to always be an idiot. They're always going to have a difficult time trying to find something just made sense for something that's happened in videos before. I'm going to do something real quick. Hang on. That's funny. I'm learning about lighting, but sometimes there's like a white spot on the top of my head and it was coming from a light that was above me, I think. Anyway, so that person is going to continue to act that way because you expect it and because you're putting that energy out there. And you're basically causing it because of your own upset. Instead of looking at yourself and saying, man, maybe I kind of suck at giving directions, and kind of taking responsibility for your part. Your ego is like, well, trying to get all fluffed up. Oh, it couldn't be me. It's them, that type of thing. Then you end up doing yourself an injustice because you're always going to be looking for them being an idiot. Not only in that situation, but in every situation. Then I'd be watching a movie and they spill something. Oh God, here's that idiot thing again. And you've pigeonholed them. It's like putting that label on them. Idiot, 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 no matter what they do. And there is nothing that they can do to get out of the trap that you are putting them in. They are not doing it. They just accidentally spilled. They, on their way to come see you, they may have been rattled. They may have had a lot of things on their mind that first night. You pigeonholed them. You pigeonholed them when they then spill their juice. You're the one who keeps repeating it over and over and reinforcing that belief that they're dumb. So if you don't want them to be dumb, stop looking for it. Stop looking for them to be whatever it is that you're putting on them. Stop looking for them to be so immature. Stop looking for them to be a player. Stop looking for them to be this come and go personality that you can't trust. Stop making their history who they are today. Because people can have an epiphany or an awareness. They can have an aha moment, a SATORI, and they can go, oh my God, why don't I just put their address in my phone and it'll take me straight to this person? Or, why don't I use a coaster? Or why don't I use a plastic cup? Or how about I don't bring a red drink into the living room anymore? They can have an epiphany like that, or they can have an idea on their own without you controlling them and acting like some kind of a mother or a father telling them what to do, you could just totally be chill and you could totally like leave them alone and they could work it out themselves and change overnight without you ever doing one thing, and they can be a totally different person. And if they come to you new, if you're not pigeonholing, you're going to be like, hey, nice, this is pretty cool. But if you're pigeonholing, then even when they change, you know, you're still looking for it forever. So imagine like this person that you love, having this incredible experience, right? They're on their drive, on their way home. You've been pigeonholing them about all kinds of things, maybe even being late or something, I don't know, something. They've been on your case. You've been on their case for a long time or whatever. And then they come home and they are just like, their heart is totally lit up about some kind of realization they had about you. Maybe even they thought, oh my God, she's the love of my life. She is the most important thing. What am I thinking? Worrying so much about money and doing all this stupid stuff and showing up late and being so irresponsible and spilling things and not getting directions right. Why? You know, it's like, oh my gosh, I get it now. I totally get it now. And they go home all excited, this happy puppy running up to you like, oh, I can't wait to tell her how much I love her and how much she means to me and how sorry I am for all of this stuff. They come running up to you and you're sitting there with your arms on your hands on your hips and like, look at you, you're late again. Look at you being all irresponsible. You just busted through the door like a child. You're so immature. You know what I mean? I mean, that's heartbreaking. And he was about to tell you something incredible and you just totally like burst his bubble because you want to reinforce the belief that they have some kind of an issue. As opposed to you just receiving them come running in the door like a puppy and you just kind of looking like, what, you know, what? Just being totally open for this person to come to you brand new, completely clean slate, fresh and new in this moment, past not even mattering at all, and you just being curious, what's going on? What's going on? And then him being able to pour his heart out to you and you just being like, wow, wow. Like this is a lot to take in and it just feels like incredible. I just want to sit with this for a minute, you know? And believe it and just really feel like, wow, something's really shifted. I'm so proud of us. We've been having all these heart-to-heart conversations and look at what it's doing. You know, there's such a big difference there, and you can change everything. You can change the dynamic of your relationship if you just stop trying to control it. And I alluded to this one time in the SATORI show a few weeks ago. I started off saying, you know, the next time you want to go control somebody, like say, okay, let's go back to the spill. So somebody spills something and you're tempted to be like, you know, you really should be more careful. Why don't you get a such and such or bring this and then like we think that we know best, right? So sit there and lecture them and tell them how that they could be a better person. You know, for one, you make them feel like shit when you do it. And for two, which does not build rapport or trust between the two of you, by the way, intent. Number two, if you can just hold your tongue and let the spill happen, just let it happen. See what happens. Just be like, he's a normal human being, just like I am. When I spill things, I figure it out. When I make a wrong turn and I go in circles, I usually figure it out. When I'm coming up to a stop sign, I usually figure it out. It might be a little bit late, but I usually figure it out to slam the brakes on, you know? Wait, just pause. It's not like you don't have to not do it at all. Or did I say that? Oh, whatever. You know, it's just like, just hold your tongue for just a few seconds longer than you normally would. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. I can't take it anymore. I want to say something. Still don't say anything. And then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh my God, he just did it. He just totally fixed it. You know, when I started doing that, I was like, wow. It was like miraculous. And I was like, damn, you know, this world works out without me trying to control it. Like a lot easier even. All I got to do is just let go of trying to control it all. And all of a sudden it all just starts happening anyway. So experiment with it. See what happens when you just totally let go of control. And try to give this person that you're with the ability to come to you brand new without you putting anything in their face about the past at all. That's just your ego trying to put him beneath you anyway, him or her beneath you anyway, because you're feeling insecure and you want to feel better about yourself. So you're going to put that person down. That's how that works. That's how that goes. So it really just shows if they were smart and they knew anything about psychology, they'd be like, damn, you're insecure. They wouldn't be thinking anything about themselves. They wouldn't be feeling, well, some of them are like, oh, I'm a moron. I'm not deserving. You know, they might do that to themselves. That would be dumb if they do. But a lot of masculines do that, unfortunately. And you did too, if you were ever the masculine in the past. But it's like, don't, you know, it's really a reflection on you and how insecure you are that you have to pick on somebody all the time. So, yeah, so that's pigeonholing, you know, convincing yourself that you're going to keep this story going no matter what, and that they are who that, you know, it's like not allowing them to reinvent themselves fresh in you every moment of every day. And then you're going to cause a total stale feeling in your relationship if you don't let them be who they are all the time. Let me try to think if there's anything else in there. Oh, I wanted to mention too, just randomly, that if I think that there is something that I want to share with you that kind of accentuates a certain point that I was making in a certain video, I will put it down in the description right down below. You know, any songs or any stories or any other like relative links or something like that. You guys can always find those down below. If I mention a certain book or I mention a certain song or I mention something like that, sometimes I'll sneak it down below for you. So some of you will comment and I've already like put it in the description, which is fine. So yeah. And you've probably been pigeonholed by somebody, so you probably know how that feels. Haven't you ever had a realization and told somebody and tried to tell them where you're coming from and they just will see you no other way than the way they've always seen you? It's like a total lose-lose situation. There's no, if you want them to improve, if you want them to be better people, accept them how they are. Accept, you know, forget the past and let them show up again, reinvented and be like, yeah, encourage it and support it and rally behind them. Anyway, now I'm babbling. So have a great day or night. And, oh, wait a minute. We got an angel coming through. Michael. Something about, hang on a minute. Harmony. He's saying that when we act like that, it obviously causes disharmony, but in a lack of rapport, but it's like also, it's violent. You know, it makes the other person walk around on eggshells and makes them feel incredibly uncomfortable. They're not going to be turned on to you. They're not going to want to have sex with you. So if you want things, you know, if you want to be happy, if you want to feel like you can be yourself, then you got to let them be themselves. All right. Thank you, Michael. All right. Have a great night or day, like I said. And mwah.